Info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
And knocked down again. It was Christian Miller.
It's time for the Miller's Edge with four-time SEC champion and two-time national champion Christian Miller.
Once again with Christian Miller taking him down.
Here's college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
And welcome into this Free for All Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 12:30 WTBC. Hope you guys are doing well and ready for the weekend. I know I am. It's been a long week, Chase. It's been a very long week, man. It's been a hot week. It's been all these things. But here I go complaining. Why am I complaining? I got another day above ground, like Smitty says, blessed and highly favored. So we're going to rock and roll, man. I just do know I could use a little bit of rest, and I am going to try my best, even though, Chase, you know what I got to do this weekend? Other than keep prepping for football. Of course, football is right around the corner. We're like 2 weeks away just about from the first game. I'm 2 weeks away from closing on my next house, which means I got to be ready to move. So I'm going to be packing. Yeah, thank you. Round of applause for that. It's definitely exciting when you think of it in that sense, but then it's also very stressful when you think about all the packing and the moving and literally the day before the first game. So I've got my hands full over the next few weeks, but I'm looking forward to it for a number of reasons, of course, but football season started and all that going on. So anyway, I'll have my hands full this weekend, literally and physically with boxes and all that. Anybody wants to come pack some boxes, man, let me know. Maybe we can do a little side quest. Anyway, I'm kidding. We're going to talk some football today. I do know that because we got a lot to break down, Chase. Yesterday, Alabama held their second scrimmage of fall camp, probably their most important scrimmage to date this year. When I say this year, I mean 2026, right? Of course, you had some during the spring. You had one last week. Now you had this one, and as my dad would call it, it was, what did he say? It was like closing day or whatever the term was, right? Basically, it was, hey, we're putting everything together here, and we're going to walk away from this scrimmage having a much better idea of who is who in terms of the guys that we got, who's going to be doing what are their roles going to be, and what we're going to look like week number one. And the reason we say it like that is because here's the deal. More than likely, that was the last kind of major job interview for the guys on this football team. Not saying that there's no battles that are just every battle is close, right? I'm not saying that. But the reality is typically after that second scrimmage, they start kind of getting their two deeps ready, right, Chase? Because now you slowly start doing less of just like the training camp style practices. What I mean by that is that's where you're doing like all your install, all your fundamental stuff, figuring out who is who fits where, what role each guy will have. Then you slowly start inching towards some of that regular install, right? You got to start prepping, right? Eastern Carolina will be here before we know it. So you got to start getting your guys together and kind of start working around who you believe will be the guys, at least for week one. And the reason I say it like that is we all know you can be a starter for week one, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the starter the entire season. So speaking of starters, if you guys have seen the thumbnail and the title on our YouTube stream or our X stream, again, check us out on whatever platform you guys use, whether it's X at the Miller's Edge or Christian Miller or at the Miller's Edge on YouTube, at Title 100.9 on Facebook. If you guys want to watch the show, we've been streaming things. Won't be streaming press conferences, at least the videos as they are live. We'll take a step back from that. We'll wait a few minutes and then we'll listen to those. I'm being funny. If you guys were in here yesterday, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, check us out on those streams. But we got it titled, right? Is the Alabama quarterback battle over, right? And there's a question mark because Chase, yesterday we didn't get a true answer, right? Coach DeBoer's press conference, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. He kind of said a whole bunch of not much, right? Not to say that in a rude way, but I'm just saying there was not much from his press conference yesterday. He definitely did not name a starter. He was asked about the quarterbacks. Sounded like he kind of was alluding to kind of, one guy maybe, even though he didn't directly say it, I feel like if you read between the lines, kind of sounded as if, leaning towards maybe one guy. Maybe that's just because of the info I have and I'm just kind of, predetermined kind of what I'm thinking he's going to say. But regardless, he did not name a starting quarterback yesterday in that press conference. However, there was a big report that came literally 5 minutes before they were set to take the field at Bryant-Denny Stadium for the scrimmage that Keelan Russell is the expected starter or is expected to be named starter as early as next week. And it came from a very reputable source, Chris Lowe, who we know has always been one of the most trusted insiders, especially at Alabama. I mean, he was Coach Saban's most trusted guy for years, right? He's now with On3. He released that article. We happen to know Chris Lowe very, very well here on this show and definitely kind of reached out and kind of asked a few things. And yes, we did confirm that. Again, I guess you can't really confirm anything until they make it official. But behind the scenes, that is fully the belief that will be the case, which we've always thought, at least on this show. Keelan Russell would be the guy, given that he just has that playmaking ability that seems like it only comes once so often, right? Chase, we always say like the it factor, just something different to him. It was more so just it wasn't a matter of if, but a matter of when. And seems like that win could be coming much sooner, which doesn't necessarily shock me. But at the same time, I wouldn't have been surprised if the older, more experienced guy just at least got the first crack, Chase. I mean, that's a very common deal, especially when you're talking about trust at a position like quarterback. And I have been saying since spring, listen, if Keelan was going to win the job, he already has all the playmaking ability. He has everything that you want out of a quarterback. It's just a matter of he's younger. Can he get up to speed with the system, with the install, right? His role as a quarterback being that leader and having that command. And he has just been crushing it in that aspect, going way back to the spring. So, again, nothing official, but I think it's about as official as unofficial as you can get, Chase, if that makes sense. It's not official, but it's about as official of unofficial as you can probably get. So I think a lot of people are really excited about this. Now, I guess there is a quick reminder because like we said earlier, right, you named the starter week one, especially at quarterback. We know things can change. Things can be fluid. You look at Ole Miss in that situation last year. Name one guy the starter early on. Guess who ends up coming in and basically stealing show is now regarded as the best quarterback in college football returning, Trinidad Chambers, right? So, I mean, like, there's always situations that can change, but that's actually a good kind of comparison right there. The younger guy, right? Well, I don't know if Chambers is technically younger, but remember, he was kind of like he was viewed as like the probably more explosive option, but they just, you know what I mean? Maybe the trust wasn't fully there just yet, but then you roll with a guy like that and you kind of see what happens and how the offense then flourishes with the playmaker under center like that. So, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things we got to discuss today, and that's definitely going to be one that we got to continue talking about. Of course, we got to give you guys some more intel, some nuggets. Timing from yesterday, unfortunately, I couldn't get my own eyes on it yesterday. Just did not line up. However, of course, we know plenty of people, and we've got plenty of folks we talked to, and got some things we got to definitely discuss coming out of scrimmage number 2. I will say, some things definitely good, Chase. Now, I will say there is one thing that it might be contrary to what some reports may have said, but I'm just going to be straight up with you. The people I talk to, I fully trust everything that they say because just know they know. And so there is one thing that did kind of got my attention, and I think we need to talk about it because you guys know I'm always honest with you guys. So we got to discuss that. And of course, we want to talk with you guys. It's a free-for-all Friday. Of course, we're pretty much talking scrimmage and the quarterback discussion pretty much the whole time. But we can go anywhere and everywhere because Chase did fill me in on the news with the back and forth with the whole order. For a second, it looked like we were going to have some NFL players taking the field back in college for the first time ever, which you think about it, Chase, I think people are so locked in on football right now. Like, if that article came out about the NFL guys returning to college football back in the spring, people would have been having their pitchforks ready, uproar. I'm not watching this. I feel like it almost kind of blew over a little bit because people are just so locked in on like, man, we ain't worried about that right now. Man, college football is 2 weeks around the corner. You feel like that a little bit? I mean, I know there definitely was like outrage, but at the same time, I feel like it didn't get like the same reaction that it would have gotten if football wasn't really like right here. That said, it's like twisting and turning. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe you saw something different. I remember I saw it, even like my reaction. At first, I was like, and maybe it's because I'm becoming like numb to like, oh, here we go. Like these just crazy dude. Like I see, okay, this guy who's on the Seahawks right now, he just got approved to come back and play in college. I literally read it. It was like, this is what I did, Chase. Took my phone and said, okay. I was like, I didn't hear that. Not even surprised. But see, I didn't even have, it's like I don't even care anymore. Like, because it's almost expected. I mean, is it not, Chase? I mean, we've seen it in basketball. It's like we've talked about it all spring. It's like it's only a matter of time. I don't know. But the good news is I think they're reversing it. I haven't read the whole thing, but I feel like it is going to be reversed to an extent, unless you have independent, what do they call TROs or what do we call it? Injunctions or whatever they're called, man. We need to get Adam back on here to get our vocabulary straight. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's what it sounds like. Maybe we'll dive into that a little bit later. But we will take phone calls, 205-342-9904. I need to get the banner running again so that way you guys on the stream have the reminder. But it looks like we have Dominic on the phone lines again. We'll get to him here shortly after we drop some intel and some nuggets from scrimmage number 2. Plus, we'll take more phone calls. Again, we'll answer questions, comments, and concerns on the streams as well. You guys know the drill. But first, we got to take a timeout. We come back, we get rolling, we talk scrimmage number 2. We break down what happened yesterday, early morning, Bryant-Denny Stadium. Full pads, but a little bit of a different tempo, third tempo for a scrimmage. A little bit different there, but we'll talk about it right here. Coming up on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. Quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
View event at Tuscaloosa Mazda. New location, corner of Skyland East Boulevard and Palisades Drive. TuscaloosaMazda.com. For details, visit TuscaloosaMazda.com.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless
40 or visit skilledtradesofwestalabama.com to apply. Skilled Trades of West Alabama. Learn a trade, build a career. Must be 19 to 32 for day trade school.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers trying to make a name for themselves.
We are here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the
Crimson Tide, sold in stadium and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Stay up to date with the Crimson Tide.
Local high school sports and Bama in the pros right here on Tide 100.9.
Friday edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC. We're talking Alabama scrimmage number 2, right? We got to break it down a little bit. I know we talked a lot about it yesterday, but had a chance to kind of dive into a few more, I guess, conversations and things like that, kind of getting some more thoughts on really what went down in Bryant-Denny Stadium yesterday. Again, it was a thud tempo, a little bit different there, Chase. You know, for me, scrimmages are always full go, but you got to look at the bigger picture, I guess, here. The fact that we've had some injuries pop up to some key positions are probably not, favorable at this time as you're getting ready for your first game in less than 2 weeks or right around 2 weeks, right? 15 days. So I kind of understand maybe why you go thud there, but, definitely interesting. But anyway, had a thud scrimmage yesterday. A lot of interesting things coming out of there. Number one, we'll start with the quarterbacks, right? All signs are pointing to Keelan Russell have another good day. Now, everybody's been talking about, he had one turnover, right, through that pick, which another interception by Dre Kirkpatrick, who also had that pick in last week's scrimmage. Now I think about it, was that the one Keelan threw or Austin? Anyway, regardless, shout out Dre Kirkpatrick, right? A guy that I feel like people haven't been talking about as much, Chase, right? We've heard so much about Ivan Taylor having a great fall camp, expecting him to step up and have a big role. Hearing a lot about Jaire Edwards, a true freshman, the fact that he can play safety. He's so versatile, the size that he brings. He can come down, play in the box. He's physical. He can cover well in space. We've been hearing about everybody but the guy, Dre Kirkpatrick, who has always been one of my favorites, right? Even Reuben Foster, when he came on the show, he made sure he talked about Dre Kirkpatrick. And it's hard not to like a guy like that because he kind of has that old school element to him, right, Chase? He's just one of those guys, man, and it makes sense, right? We all know who his pops is and the player that his pops was. What I love about Dre Kirkpatrick, man, is the physicality that he brings. And he just has a knack for the football. If you just go back and watch last season when he did get opportunities in there, he's always around the football, right? Whether it's, making a play on the ball, forced fumbles, picking it up, right? I remember him and QB Reese, can't remember the exact sequence. One of them forced it, the other one picked it up, scooped it. Like the big hit that he got removed for targeting, I mean, just laying his hat on somebody, like reckless abandonment when he fires the football. Dude has violent intentions. Well, he keeps stepping up, Chase. So go ahead and add another name to a long list of players in that secondary who are very talented players that you expect to contribute, right? Carmelo O'Neal having a great fall camp as well. I mean, like, it's going to be very interesting to me. Chuck McDonald, I think people are noticing in some of these highlights. He keeps popping up. He's getting reps. I believe at Husky with the ones. I mentioned that out of scrimmage number 1, right? You know, he was, a matter of fact, like from the first series, he was rolling with the ones, getting a lot of burn in there. And I said, keep an eye out on Chuck McDonald, right? I mean, the dude clearly is earning more opportunities. Sounds like that's not changing, right? It's not slowing down. So many players, Chase, in that secondary group, not just the starters who are on pretty much all the preseason lists, but it really is incredible. And I think Alabama had to sit down with Mo Linguist. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I am kind of curious because I would argue out of all the new additions to this staff, I mean, of course, you want to point to Kane Womack because he's the defensive coordinator, but I almost feel like it's hard not to throw Mo Linguist in that conversation. His ability to get these guys here, to evaluate players, but also, to me, what stands out the most, Chase, is development. Because I feel like even though we're Alabama, who felt like we were known for development for all these years, even before Coach DeBoer got here, I would argue that our development had kind of slipped in some aspects, just being honest, right? And to see that group just thriving, like I feel like that is like the most secure group when it comes to evaluating talent, getting them here, and then developing them, right? I would say our secondary right now is second to none. So anyway, that being said, Drake Kirkpatrick had that pick that was on Keelan, but, you know, regardless, Keelan had a great day again, continues to show off that explosive ability. And every time, again, and for me, like when I evaluate and I'm looking at players, like, of course you want to see all the tools, the traits, you want to see the playmaking ability, you want to see all the things that do well. But you know what's something else that's really important for me that I want to see out of players? That's consistency. People don't talk about that a whole bunch, but I'm telling you right now, it's something you want to pay attention to because it's one thing if a guy goes out there and does something at one practice or one game, you know, he looks great, and then the next few practices or the next few games, it just disappears. What good is that, Chase? I want to see consistency. And what I see out of Keelan Russell is every time he steps on that football field, we can talk about the playmaker he is. The good news is it's not just one time that he's done it, or he made one play, or he had one big game. It's becoming a consistent thing. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't have his moments. I'm sure he had moments in between these scrimmages, sure, right? Some of these practices probably had some throws, some air throws, some turnovers. That's normal. But the fact is, every time that I've seen the young man, right, going back to his first couple practices when he got on campus as an early enrollee, the same things flash. And when you start seeing things with consistency, that's how you form an identity. And that's how I know like that's who he is. This is not like a one-trick pony. This is not a one-time thing. Like this guy is a true playmaker. And it sounds like that's pretty much kind of how he looked again yesterday. Again, I didn't get to see my eyes on it, but from everybody I've talked to, had a very strong day. And one other big note that I would point out is he did roll out with the first group. The reason I'm pointing that out is because last week that was not the case. Last week, Austin Mack rolled out with the first group. Now, I was at the last scrimmage. Austin Mack took the first snaps. This week, Keelan took the first snaps. Now, they've been rotating, of course, right? So it wasn't really a huge deal. Austin Mack took the first snaps, and then Keelan pretty much got his opportunities next. Then he stayed in there a longer time because he ran with the twos and stayed with the ones, and then they just kept flipping, right? The reason I point it out is that lines up with what Chris Lowe was reporting because that is a change, Chase. That's not coincidental. You see what I'm saying? If it was still even somewhat going into the scrimmage, they would have probably just rolled Austin Mack out again with the ones. But the fact is, Keelan rolled out with the ones going into scrimmage number 2. That is a clear indicator that he is pulling away or that he had earned the right to roll out first. So that is definitely worth noting, and it just lines up with everything we're hearing. Again, the expectation is as soon as early next week, we could hear a starter named. And that makes sense, Chase, because here's the thing. You don't – I know it's being reported, but they can't go and confirm stuff because they don't want their players hearing about a battle being won through the media, right? Especially, you know, your quarterbacks. I mean, those guys are fighting for that job, right? It means a lot. Whoever doesn't get the job they're going to be hurt, Chase, one way or the other. I think my advice would be for whoever it is, don't let that stop you from what you're doing. You still need to be preparing and attacking each and every day as if you're going to be the starter. Because get this, a lot of teams typically need to have two quarterbacks, not for a two-quarterback system, but the fact is you never know what can happen, right? And you never know when your number is going to be called. So even if it is Russell that's getting that first nod, I think regardless, I think they feel really good about both quarterbacks. Of course, there is a difference. One has a higher ceiling, one has more potential. But I'm telling you right now, Chase, Coach DeBoer has trust in both those guys. You can hear in the way he speaks. When he came on our show in the spring, again, of course, everybody's talking about Keelan Russell, the big day he had. He always finds a way to bring Austin back in there. He has a high level of respect for Austin Mack, which totally makes sense. Best believe he has trust in his ability as well. If something's not working out with one, I think at least he's going to be short on both guys, to be honest with you. Now, hopefully it's a little bit longer on Keelan because as a younger guy, I think he needs that experience. He needs those reps. And that's personally why I think we're going to see him named a starter, right, a little bit earlier, because once he's named starter, you can start going into practice and really start not necessarily building around him because they've been working with the ones, but you see what I'm saying? You get more reps with the guys he's going to be out there with, right? You don't want to keep the whole rotating thing back and forth at practice. You want to get him as many reps, live reps in practice with guys like Ryan Coleman-Williams, Latsier Brooks, Derek Meadows, who had a very productive day. He was targeted a lot, had some nice catches on the day, some nice contested catches. Coach DeBoer talked about it. You saw it in some of the highlights that they posted, right? Rico Scott. You want those quarterbacks or the quarterback getting as many reps as possible with these guys. That way they can continue growing that chemistry, meshing and gelling, and be as prepared as possible for that first game, which is coming up in about 15 days. In terms of the running backs and the running game, this one's a little interesting because it's like a twofold, Chase. Trayshawn Brown, let me point out, another productive day. Talk about that consistency and showing up. The guy is going to have a role, man. Now, Brandon Clear came on this show. Shout out to Brandon Clear, man, earning that opportunity with Cover Crimson, man. He's been crushing it. So happy for him, man. And he's going to do a great job covering it. But he came on this show, and he said, man, his hot take was Trayshawn Brown would be like RB1 by like week 3, I think he said. And he had him having more yards on the ground than E.J. Crowell as freshman with the two of them. That said, Trayshawn Brown had a productive day. Daniel Hill did some nice things. I think he had a nice run or two in there. Kevin Riley had some nice plays on the ground as well. I think all those guys had some explosive runs on the day. So the reason I say it's a twofold is because on one hand, the running game had more flashes. It had more moments, right? They had some more explosive runs, which is great. But the other side of this is I was told that the offensive line did not perform particularly great either. And that was the point that I was talking about earlier that still has me a little concerned. Because my hope was from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2, you would see a big improvement, which I think there was improvement, right, Chase? We just talked about some more explosives on the ground. In terms of pass pro, again, I hate that I didn't have my eyes on it. I think they did some good, but I was told that they definitely still have a ways to go, right? And it's just interesting because it's like we hear from the practice reports of how great the practices were like following scrimmage number 1. But then when you're talking to people that, again, they know what they're talking about and they're saying, yeah, definitely a little bit better in some ways, but they still have a ways to go. And we're 15 days from week 1. Again, the expectation clearly is that this offensive line was going to have growing pains regardless. We've been preaching that, right? Brace yourselves. Don't think because you make a hire and you get a bunch of guys that are young from the transfer portal or guys that are coming from other places, and just think that it's magically going to be fixed. It's not how it works. So that's why I said I'm not overly concerned just yet. I'm concerned. Don't get me wrong. I'm concerned. But I wouldn't say it's time to hit the panic button still, just because I expected growing pains. In fact, I expected growing pains probably the first 4 games at least, Chase. I hadn't expected really to start coming together and kind of showing what it could be until at least a quarter of the way through the season. It's just so new. So hearing that, I would have much rather heard, hey man, they made a clear jump from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 2. That would have made me feel much better. But at the end of the day, this is kind of what we expected. So the only hope is, hey, you got 2 more weeks. until the first game. You open up with Eastern Carolina, and then you kind of got to roll from there. That I think really what kind of, I guess, is concerning is the second week, Chase. You're on the road in an SEC environment. Now, I know it's Kentucky, but let's just be honest. They got a lot of new faces. They brought in some people, both on the staff and on the team. That's your first true road test of the year, and it comes as an in-conference game. You know what I mean? Like, did I play at Kentucky? I don't think I've ever played at Kentucky, but anyway, I'm sure an SEC environment is an SEC environment. That is something I'm kind of, again, I don't always call it concern, but something I'm definitely curious about and how they respond. But again, we still got some time, but that is something that I was told. Because I know initially yesterday, and I think what happened was, people saw some explosive runs and immediately they're just kind of like, oh man, yeah, they're doing this, that, and the third, which I'm sure they had some moments. But after speaking with people, some very trusted people, just I'll say that, they did kind of acknowledge, we still got a ways to go there. Still got to get some things cleaned up. But it's just interesting because like you hear all the reports, Chase, from the practices of like they had our best day on the ground. So it sounds like maybe it's a consistency thing, right? And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a consistency thing. Because I have also been told, like, hey man, they've been a little bit more physical this time around. They've cleaned up a lot of things, but it seems like it's just still just a little ways out, which is okay. That's what practice is for. So hopefully they can keep going back to the drawing board and keep cleaning some things up offensively because we know how important that is, especially if you're going to have a redshirt freshman starting at quarterback for you this season. So Alabama's offense is going to be something to pay attention to. Defensively, I think we all can say, hey, man, send those guys out there and let them roll. Offensively, I think it's something to pay attention to. You got explosive elements to it. I'm just worried about the inconsistency to it. And it just reminds me similar to kind of the offenses like that we've seen the last 2 years, but maybe with a little bit more explosiveness to it. So who knows? I'll be honest, Chase, at this point, it's hard to tell exactly what we're going to get offensively this year. Maybe that makes it a little bit more exciting. I don't know. We got to hit a timeout. When we come back, we'll keep on rolling. We'll go to the phone lines. We'll talk a little bit about the defense as well and get some of those nuggets and keep on rolling on this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC. Quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, we transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can trust. Don't let small issues turn into big expenses. Call 205-393.
Score up to $2,500 cash. Drop on in and find your big win at Pearl River Resorts. Must be 21 or older to play.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves.
We're here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the
about credit. If you've got a job and a dime, you ride.
Stick with Tuscaloosa, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
Tuscaloosa, CDJR.com.
Plus tax and tag, visit TuscaloosaCDJR.com.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless advocacy. For guidance you can trust, call 201-317-5115 or visit lamparello-law.com. That's Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy.
What does it mean to advertise and do your marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites, from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Here's your Tuscaloosa and West Alabama forecast. A heat advisory remains in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. The high today near 96. That heat index, though, around 106 when you factor in humidity. And as temperatures heat after maybe an occasional shower, thunderstorm developing from this afternoon into the early portion of the evening, then clear overnight with a low falling to 73. And the dry weather for the weekend, a sunny and hot Saturday with a high of 97 and plenty of sunshine on Sunday with a high close to 96. This is meteorologist Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel for Town Square Media Tuscaloosa.
It's 88 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
24/7, 365. We've got all your coverage of the Crimson Tide on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC. I think my throat is finally cleared, man. Sorry about that. It's that time of year, I guess. I don't know. But we're talking scrimmage number 2. We pretty much went over the offensive side of the football yesterday, or at least some of the main nuggets. And there's still plenty more. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I kind of talked so much about that probably missed a couple things. We'll keep breaking down scrimmage number 2. But I want to sneak in a phone call real quick because I know Dominic was on the line yesterday and we missed him. And he's been on the line today. So let's go to the phone lines real quick. 205-342-9904. We got Dominic up next. Dominic, welcome in.
What's up, Benny? I feel good, man. I'm more happy now. My quarterback, Keelan Russell, gonna be leading this charge, and I done prayed on him that he stay healthy, so we don't have to worry about that. He's gonna be healthy. The offensive line's gonna be all right, and I'm just happy. But our defense and Drake Kilpatrick Jr., I got to give a lot of the credit out to this young man, and I appreciate his dad. He's a great Alabama great dad. He could have took his son and went somewhere else. But that's how you build integrity and you build your kids up when things get hard. He didn't leave Alabama, and he's balling out in fall. Our secondary is going to be our strength link this year, I believe. I really believe we're going to be a top 5 defense in the country. And I just think that if we can get the offense going, watch out. But I'm always going to say we're going to win the Natty. I think we're going to win the national championship.
You think we're going to? Is this the same Dominic we talked to last time?
Yeah, because my boy back there.
What happened? Hold on.
Because my boy Keon Russell. Because my boy Keon Russell pushing the key. Yeah. I just hope I know he's going to ball out.
What'd you put in that coffee this morning, Dominic? Hold on, man. Hold on. Last time you called on me, you were a tough critic. Now, nothing wrong with that. We welcome everybody on this show. All opinions are welcome. Today, you just said they're winning the national championship, brother. I'd be like, you throwing me off.
Keon Russell's our quarterback, baby. Because Keon Russell's our quarterback, and he's going to put us in position. Because I really was going to be mad with Coach DeBoer because he was going to go out with that same method of being loyalty over because Austin Mack's been in the offense. No, we going to play this young gun that on our offense is going to move because he's not going to be able to stack 8 in the box with Keon back there with his running ability. So defense is not going to be able to say we got to stop 8 people in the box. But we got a quarterback can stand play. But the only thing about it is if he struggles early, that's going to be hard because I know he like to take chances and everything. And Mac is not. Mac don't turn the ball over. If he go back to Mac, what that's going to do with the young boy confidence. But other than that, man, I just think Alabama, we winning the national championship. I'm riding down with my team no matter what.
Boy, I mean, Keelan Russell just completely changed your whole mindset when it came to this football season. I love it. Hey, listen,
he did.
I will say this, man. Like I've been saying, if you want to take this team as far as it can go, he's just the type of player that you need, and it's just a matter of getting him ready. So I like the direction that is trending. I will say this, man. I think if they are going to be competing for a national championship, there's some things that have to come together. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. Offensive line is the biggest key. I think offensive line play is there's a lot riding on that, Dominic. And we're at training camp. Again, we're only in training camp. They still have a ways to go. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I feel like that's probably going to be the one thing that might hold this team back from making it where we hope they can make it.
But look at it. You remember in the past when Coach Saban guys, our defense was not as good. I was young, but the offense carried them. Look at it back. AJ McCarron was there. Remember when he first got the job from Sims? Our defense was our backbone until AJ got in the groove throughout the 4th to 5th grade games, and we've seen how the offense took off of that year. Remember that, Christian? Now our defense this year, with our defense, I really believe they're going to have to be the backbone of the first 4 or 5 weeks until Keeling's get in the groove. And I say once we get in the groove, then everybody going to understand that we're going to be rolling to a national title. I really believe it now.
Listen, I will agree with you that I think Alabama has a chance to be kind of one of those. I don't know if I was like dark horse candidates. I guess you could kind of consider that. I think they're around like 11 to 13 on a lot of these polls. But I think they could be a team that sneaks up on people, kind of like Coach Saban was alluding to. But I think it's critical that what you said happens, meaning the defense is able to give them some cushion through the first quarter of the season. Because I'm just going to be honest with you, man. Like, I think it's going to take some time for this offensive line to try to figure some things out. And I hope it happens sooner rather than later. I mean, hell, the season could come and they could be a much better unit. I just think everything that I've seen in them and people are telling me right now, there's still a ways to go. And I don't care how talented you are at quarterback, Dominic. If you don't have the guys in front of you, man, it's hard for you to excel. We've seen that time and time again. I mean, hell, even with Bryce Young back in 2022, it was amazing that he was able to play the way he played, given the offensive line that he was dealing with in front of him, man. So I just know how vital that position group is. I'm confident in the coaches, but I just don't. There's just so many new faces, a lot of new guys, young guys. I mean, the growing pains are just going to be there, man. Just how long do they last?
But we didn't have that with Coach. We didn't have that with Coach Saban did. I don't know when it would start decline with our offensive line. I know
it was declining when he was here.
It was declining. Coach Saban 2 to 3 years before it was declining, and I don't know what it is, man. I think we need Coach Cochran back, man. Can he quit his job down in North Alabama and come back, man? I don't know what it was that Coach Cochran had us on them boys locked in. He's the greatest strength and conditioning coach we ever had. It ain't even close.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think. I know a lot of people point to that. They think the strength coach. And first of all, I'm with you. Coach Cochran was, amazing at his job. Of course, he got us ready physically, but when it came down to like developing and instilling in us that mentality of we can't be messed with. We are the best of the best. He was second to none when it came to that. But when it comes to that drop off or just like the offensive line play just really on a decline, I'll be honest with you, it was two things. It was the recruitment, right? Not getting the right guys, then also the development. And I think both of them equally shared a role because listen, we did not see the same players that we were recruiting in the trenches Coach Saban's last few years that we did earlier on. I don't know if that was because of evals and COVID, you couldn't go out and see guys. But I'm just going to be honest with you. A lot of the guys we had in the offensive line room, it was weird. We'd have like one stud. You'd have Booker. You'd have Latham. You'd have like a true bona fide first-round pick. Then you have other guys that just didn't really play up to the standard that we were used to. And that played a big role. And I just feel like we didn't develop guys great, man, the last few years under Coach Saban.
You're right about that here in Jacksonville over the summer. I was talking to Cam Robinson, man. He's real. He's
shout out Big Cam, man. That's my guy.
Yeah, and Cam was telling me I was like, bro, what happened since she left? He was pretty much saying the same thing that you are saying right now. We had when we started getting going bad. We had Doug Marrone, the ex-Jaguar coach, as an offensive line. It's been trickling down ever since with the offensive line. It's been getting worse and worse and everything. And that's why that's my concern because we don't want to get our quarterback hurt. I don't know how much punishment he could take, man. And he taking them licks like Todd took last year. Boy, that was going to be scary.
Well, and then you think about it. Listen. I'm just telling you. They're throwing some zone read stuff in there. So he's going to be able to be included in that running game. Now, that's my biggest thing, man. Can they protect him and let him really flourish? Because we know the ability that Keelan has, but if he's running for his life, if he's facing pressure, which is forcing him to make air throws and bad decisions, we're not going to see the best version of him. We wouldn't see the best version of Austin Mack, and that's why I think so much rides on this offensive line, right? Like I think the running backs
it
really
made
stepping
me think that what Ty Simpson did his first preseason. Imagine if we had a damn offensive line great, what we did had Adam last year. Ty Simpson don't get a lot of credit for a lot of people. I was telling a lot of Bama fans like last year, they was hating on him, but he was running for his life, man. If you give him some time, that's why I think he's going to be great in NFL with the Rams, man, because he can read a defense and he got a strong arm and he's smart. And that made me think, man, last year he got hurt up, man. But I ain't going to keep you long, but all I know, I'm going to say roll Tide, and we're going to get ready for East Carolina. We're going to get ready for goddamn Kentucky and Florida State. Well, I don't care we lose. Alabama fans, I don't care we lose, but it's the way we lose. We can't have an Indiana game or we can't have a Florida State game. That's what makes Alabama fans upset, getting blown out by teams like we did last year. If we lose a close game and it's even and we're not getting blown, we can accept that, Kristen. You know that, bro.
I'm with you. I've been saying, I've been preaching that, man. It's just the records that we've seen. I mean, it's not a problem. Last 2 years, man, I think Coach DeBoer has done a fantastic
he did a great job.
It's just the only stain on his career thus far at Alabama is those games that you mentioned, that the bad losses and the inconsistency, man. If you clean those up, listen, I think people are. This is what you should expect in college football 2026, right? Making it to the conference championship, making a playoff run. If you can do that consistently, man, you're going to have a loss here or there because listen, the level of competition is much greater. Just go out there and make sure you're competitive and playing with an edge each and every game. And I think everybody can rally behind that. I'm with you on that one, Dominic. That's a great way.
But I see Coach DeBoer. I know we take a lot of hit, Coach DeBoer, but I support you because I see something in you I ain't seen in 2 years in your eyes when you answering questions that throughout our locker room, the billboards that they saying we are soft. I see a coach in his eyes that he's saying, I got something. My guys got something to prove this year. So we ain't never in a long time in our program in Alabama being called soft. That's one thing we ain't never been called as soft. And that's what you got to get out. And you know that's Christian
like the one thing. That's the one thing you don't want to be called as a football player. Right? That's what Coach Thompson called me that when I first got here. I was like 215 pounds. And I was trying my best, brother. I just was going. We had like converted defensive tackles at tight end. And I remember he told me one day, he was like, man, you couldn't bust a grape. I was like, oh, hell no. I got to get right now. I'm like, I don't care. I'm 215 pounds. I'm going to keep fighting. That's what I did, man. I was in that weight room every single day. I'm like,
you did a great job with 47, man. We miss you on Alabama TiVo, man. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide, brother. Good stuff, man. No, I'm not gonna lie, that was motivation, man. Coach Thompson told me that in 2014 when I first got here. I was like, man, I ain't soft, brother. I'm like, bro, I'm just small. I'm like, man, I gotta get bigger. So every day I was in that weight room, Chase. Obviously, I'm doing extra curls every day. I'm like, I'm not gonna let them call me soft, man. And then finally, once I got bigger and stronger, man, it was over, man. It all came together. But anyway, we got to hit timeout. We come back, we keep on rolling. We got Smitty. We got some more scrimmage intel nuggets we got to drop. All that coming up. Plus, we got Jarvis. We're loaded on the phone line. It's going to be a fun one right here on this Free For All Friday. Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves. We're here for the achievers
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the next.
Oh, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless advocacy. For guidance you can trust, call 201-317-5115 or visit Lamparello-law.com. That's Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Proud partner.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I want to tell you about our great friends over at Brian Hardy Construction.
Located in the heart of Tuscaloosa, Brian Harding Construction is woman-owned and strong as steel. A specialty manufacturing firm with expertise in structural steel fabrication, ASME code piping and vessels, CNC machine work, welding, laser cutting, pipe fitting, industrial maintenance, and crane rental. With a proven track record of over 30-plus years of experience, no one is better fit for the job. For an evaluation, contact Brian Harding Construction today at 205-752-9611. Again, that's Brian Harding Construction at 205-752-9611.
What does it mean to advertise and do your marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites, from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
Yes! Roll Tide all the time. This is Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide sports.
Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. All right, we only got a couple minutes here, so we're going to wait to take some more phone calls when we come back from top of our break. Let's talk a few more nuggets, Chase, from yesterday's scrimmage. I think we hit everything. Oh, we didn't hit the receivers on the offensive side or tight ends, right? I'll be honest, I didn't hear a whole bunch about tight ends. I didn't really ask about tight ends, but I do know from a receiver perspective, we mentioned Derek Meadows. I do know Rico Scott definitely was targeted a good bunch in scrimmage number one. I think both those guys continue to get opportunities as they battle it out. Remember, Ryan Coleman-Williams, he's been crushing it this fall camp, and he's on track to have himself a big season, I believe. I truly believe that Latsier Brooks did not scrimmage, but we already know kind of what he brings to the table. Just kind of a matter of who's going to be that third wide receiver, and fourth, right? You're going to see a number of these guys. But don't count out, I know Cedarian Morgan, I would not count him out. I don't think anybody's counting him out. But don't forget about him, the true freshman. Continues to have a strong camp yesterday. Definitely made some plays. And I really feel good about this wide receiver room where we're at, especially, and I said this yesterday, like the first five guys feel really good about. Now, the depth after that, I'm not going to lie, a little concerned. I think it's going to be vital that room stays healthy, knock on wood. And that's probably why they're definitely taking their time with Latsier Brooks. You want those guys healthy because I do feel like there's a significant drop from like the top five guys, which again, in the wide receiver room, especially in an offense that we'll see a good bit of 11 personnel, right? 3 wide receivers will be out there. You're going to see rotating guys. You need as many healthy, and you're already missing Noah Rogers, who was arguably the most consistent guy we had during the spring before he went down to a knee injury. On the defensive side, similar rumblings, man, in terms of the defensive line getting after it. Those guys that continuously have been flashing, continue to step up. London Simmons, definitely excited to see what he brings to the table this season, coming off of a little bit of a spring cleanup that he had. But the transfers, man, Tompkins and Green, really, and Terrence Green, I think he's been having a really strong camp. And I don't know if it's because the weight that he lost or whatever the case may be, but he just looks explosive. He's a lot to handle, a big body guy, but he's not like a big sloppy body guy, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like where he's just big and just taking up space. I mean, the dude, he's strong, he's explosive. He's a lot to handle. So still hearing really good stuff about those guys. And in terms of linebacker play, still believe coming out of scrimmage number 2, your top 3 guys, Caleb Woodson for sure, who is really impressive. I think he was a name to the Buckets watch list, preseason list. But I believe Luke Metz having a really strong camp. Him and QB Reese, those guys are going to impress. I would say right now the pecking order for that linebacker room, you got Caleb Woodson, Luke Metz potentially gaining a little bit of ground on QB Reese. He's been getting a lot of opportunities, especially first up next to Caleb Woodson. But then QB Reese still doing his thing. He's definitely going to see a lot of playing time. But I would not count out a guy like Abdul Sanders, who got some opportunities last week for sure. I think the rotation typically was, at least started off like Caleb Woodson, Luke Metz, then QB Reese and Abdul Sanders. He's been doing some good stuff. I know Kane Womack mentioned all these guys, but I think when it comes down to making that 2 deep right now, that's kind of how it's looking right now with those 4 guys at linebacker, which we know at least over the last 2 years, we've seen at least 3 guys in the mix. Could be a little bit more like a 4-man rotation at some point. They like to rotate defensively, so would not be shocked if that's the case. And I think we already spoke a little bit on the defensive secondary, right, with Drake Kirkpatrick having a big day. Jyre Edwards continues to impress. He's going to carve himself out a role. Chuck McDonald earning some more opportunities. Carmelo O'Neal stepping up. And, of course, we already know the starters, man, doing their thing. So that was pretty much the gist of what I got out of scrimmage number 2. Maybe a couple other things that I might have missed, but we got to hit a top of the hour break. We'll keep talking about it, dropping some more nuggets. Plus, we'll go to the phone lines, 205-342-9904. More scrimmage number 2 talk. We come back right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Monty Bolaños.
It was a good night for Jacob deGrom and the Rangers.
deGrom, a history of success against these Nationals, having faced them so much in the NL East. And a swing and a miss here on a slider, and there you go. 2 batters, 2 punch-outs, and 2,000 career strikeouts for Jacob deGrom.
You heard it on the Rangers radio network. They shut out the Nationals 2-0. The Yankees beat the Orioles 6-1, and manager Aaron Boone said that star Aaron Judge has been cleared to begin his hitting progression. In week 2 of the NFL's preseason, the 49ers crushed the Chargers 41-17, and the Raiders took the lead in the final 14 seconds on an Aiden O'Connell rushing touchdown to beat the Texans 22-20. In the WNBA, it was a close one, but the Wings topped the Fever 91-85. Paige Beckers in the win, 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here
Treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world.
We're here for the rookies and the dreamers,
Trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers.
Who are resilient
And won't take no for an answer.
We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers and mentors
who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you.
aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless advocacy. For guidance you can trust, call 201-317-5115 or visit Lamparello-Law.com. That's Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Proud
what does it mean to advertise and do your marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites, from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info on marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa, call 205-345-7200 or click on Advertise with Us on our website.
It's time for the Miller's Edge with 4-time SEC champion and 2-time national champion Christian Miller.
Once again with Christian Miller taking him down.
Here's college football playoff national champion Christian Miller on Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
Into this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Great roll into your weekend. Hopefully we're entertaining you a little bit, talking some Alabama football, SEC football, as we are just about 2 weeks away from our season start. And technically next week, college football is back. As a matter of fact, I think shout out to Coach Mosley over at Stanford. Number one, he was named on the 30 for 30, or 30 under 30, right? Coaches under 30 list. And I want to say they have a week 0 game, maybe against Hawaii or something like that. So I got to tune in. I got to see what the defensive line is looking like out in Palo Alto or where Stanford's in Palo Alto, I think. Anyway, man, I'm excited, man. Football's back. A lot of stuff to look forward to, man. We're finally here, man, and I'm glad we're doing it with you guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and listening to us ramble a little bit for a couple hours. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Right here every single day, same time, same place. You guys know the drill. Anyway, 205-342-9904. Speaking of the people, let's go to the people. We got Smitty up next. Smitty, talk to me. Good Friday to you, brother.
How's it going, good brother?
It's going great, man. Can't complain, man. A little busy, but I'm good, man. I'm just talking some football, man, so I'm blessed.
I give you a hard time. Congratulations on your second house. I know you got a moat in the front yard and in the bottom of your swimming pool said "Kiss my bleep." I know it, Christian.
Let's go. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. No. Hey, listen, man. I was telling the chat earlier, man. Listen, outside of this, man, my goal is,
I understand.
I'll be honest, man. I do have a few homes, and what I do is I rent them out and then whatnot. And this. It's a blessing, man. So yes, I appreciate that. It's a lot of work, but it's a blessing.
And that's what you should do, man. Like you've been fortunate to make the NFL, had a good career at Alabama, and use that, man, to build your wealth for your family and everything down the line. That's what it's all about, for real.
Man, that's right.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, like this quarterback thing, right? I do not envy Kalen LeBoy for having to look Austin Mack in the eye and say we got to go with Keelan Russell, because that's a tough part of the job. It's the same way when Nick Saban had to look Jalen Hurts in the eye and say we're going with Tua. But here's a but I think fans forgot. Jalen Hurts had to come in an SEC championship game, win that game from Alabama because Tua was hurt and he was struggling. And Hurts came in. And I remember Saban telling him he told the story where, hey, this is what you need to work on. And I remember when Jalen Hurts get ready to transfer, he asked him what schools. And he said, which one? Saban said, which one had the better players? He said, Oklahoma. He said, that's where you're going. So I think sometimes these coaches will help you find a new spot if you keep your head on straight. And these coaches know each other. They all know each other. And I think keep his head on straight, and he'll be fine. But also, you're a twisted ankle away from getting in the game, or concussion away from getting in the game. You better not check out, because if you do check out, they're going to go to the next guy because you're always supposed to be ready. Even you're a backup, you always got to be ready regardless.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. There's a few thoughts I have on this. Number one, these guys now are getting paid. And I'm not saying this to sound like I don't feel bad, because, I mean, if you lose a battle, it's not fun for anybody. But here's my deal. I mean, you're getting paid. So basically, as long as you stay around and stay the course, like you said, you never know when your opportunity might come. Who knows? I mean, things could not go great week 1, and you could be thrown right in that fire by week 2. We've seen things like that happen. I wouldn't be shocked even with Keelan probably being named the starter if we still see it. Think about it. East Carolina, I think it's going to be a competitive game, right? I mean, but still, hopefully there's some moments that, we kind of pull ahead and we're able to, make a change at quarterback to get a guy like Mack in there if that is possible. But again, you're making money. So, I mean, I'm not saying that makes it easier, but probably a lot easier than what it was back when I was playing. You lose a job, you just go into class and eating the same food and you just lost a job. Now, I mean, you still get to go home to these nice houses and these nice cars that these guys have. But and like you said, man, you never know when your number is going to be called. And here's the deal. Let's not act like the guy can't play. The dude is going to be able to, if he decides to transfer, which, I mean, I think that's pretty much expected at this point, if he does not truly win the job back at any point this year, brother, he's going to get paid several $1 million to go transfer to another school. Okay, because here's what's going to happen. They like the guy. They're going to have some opportunities to let him get some reps this season. He'll have plenty of tape to put out there. He's 6'6", 235 pounds, can sling it. Listen, if all these other quarterbacks we're seeing are getting paid a couple mil just to enter the portal, best believe Austin Mack can go earn himself $2-3 million easily after the season, go have a great final year of eligibility, go get drafted and have a great career. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's unfortunate for the time being if that is the case, but his story is definitely not over. It's not over this season, and it's definitely not over for next season. And who knows? I mean, he could end up starring at, what would you say, Michigan State? Y'all keep thinking he's going to end up with Sheridan?
I say Miami.
Maybe.
Or USC.
Those
guys could be quarterbacks.
Miami, he's going to get more than $2 or $3 billion.
I know. Miami paying folks a big.
Miami.
Hey, Christian, they say, where you get this money from in Miami? Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions in Miami. But like USC might need a quarterback because Miami's going to be out of eligibility. So that school's there. And, so that school's there. But we got to remember also, one reason Caleb Boyd made sure to bring Mack with him, because we all forgot the Max Exodus when Coach Saban left. He lost 3 quarterbacks out of that team, Lonergan, Holstein, and Sayre. He didn't know who was going to be on that team. So you got to cover yourself. And sometimes it just happens, right, where the next guy just may end up being better. We see that in the league. You get your shot. And so it ain't no ill will. It's just the way it is. But I've always said, if you build like the developing offensive line, and maybe Russell may be like a Bryce Young where he could make the line look better than what it is. He could bail out stuff like that. But one question I have about offensive line. I asked you this a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of shaky on Javen James because if it's this close with Nick Brooks and Javen has this experience, which way would you be leaning if you're seeing all that?
That's tough. Listen, if I'm evaluating offensive lineman, I'm trying to make a decision on that. Number one, kind of what Ryan Grubb has been describing. I want physicality from any guy on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. I want a guy that's a good communicator that knows what he's doing, right? That's not just giving things up. Because I'll be honest with you. I mean, a lot of the time you watch offensive line play. Half the time, a guy on defense makes a good play, but the other half, offensive line blows something up front. Right. So, I mean, those are all really important when it comes to it. But we're talking about like right tackle. I mean, to me, what it sounds like is you got Javen James, who's got experience, and you can go in there and play him, but it's inconsistent. Then I think Nick Brooks probably has a little bit more potential to him, but he's just a little bit more raw, and he might not be fully there just yet. That's to me is kind of the vibe I'm getting. If I had to make a choice between the two, I'd probably lean, at least initially, towards Javen James while Nick Brooks continues to develop. But I also know he could get a lot better if he has more reps and experience. So, I mean, if you felt like those early games, he could kind of, I don't know, get a little bit up to speed. I feel more likely they're going to lean with Javen James. And then if he just kind of gets to a point, then they'll probably make that transition.
And like with Mal Waldrop, right, if things are hurt, that's why we always say you be ready. Because we all thought it was going to be Will Sanders. It may still be, but you hear the things about Waldrop, his communication and all that stuff. And so that's always a lesson to players. You better be ready. Your opportunity is called. No moping, because an injury may happen, and he's been playing all this time and showing out. It's kind of hard not to go with him. To be honest with you, but you know that when you play, sometimes opportunity knocks, but you better be ready to open the door.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's why I always say, man, you got to stay ready. You can't let just because a starter's named, you can't let that affect you how you approach each and every day, because you truly don't know. I mean, you just don't know. Hell, I'll give you an example. 2016, I was playing a good bit. Like, I was rotating in there. But Ryan Anderson and Tim Williams, they were the starters, right? Sam and Jack, respectively. Those guys played majority of the snaps. Me and Anthony were the two deep there. We would come in and get some burn here and there. But I ended up, I forgot, we were playing, speaking of Kentucky, we were playing Kentucky. And Tim had a little off-field situation kind of go on, and he ended up getting suspended. Guess who got bumped up into like a starting role? It kind of out of the blue. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay. Well, here we go. That was quick. And so, if I would have just been saying, I just get in there and kind of get some rushes here and there, blah, 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 and just I wouldn't have been ready. But that game, I had a sack. Matter of fact, it was on those highlights we just were playing. I had a sack fumble, me and Ryan, on a sack early on in the game, and that's because I stayed ready. I didn't view it as, Tim and Ryan are the starters. Like, I know I'll play, but I don't need to. Nah, man, you always have to. You never know what can come up, so you always got to stay ready.
And I'll say these quick things we get out of here. When it comes to Russell, I hope the coaching staff, because I remember Brian Kelly saying this, but Jaden Daniels. I remember Jaden Daniels' first year at LSU. I'm like, why is this boy scared to throw the ball? And then next year, Brian Kelly straight up said, it's okay to throw an interception, pretty much meaning don't be scared. Because you know how it is. It's more than just making a bad decision. Sometimes the guy making a play, too, like Drake Kirkpatrick did in that scrimmage. Mm-hmm. It's because if you're scared, you can limit the team that way also, I think that. But the one thing I want to say about this defense where I go, I like the fact that all I heard these guys flying around being physical. Because I'll be like this, Christian. If you're going to mess up, at least mess up being fast and physical. I'm just going to be like that. Because it's kind of like being late. It's kind of like being late to work. You're already late. Don't make it worse. And I like what I think, because I think what people don't understand is these coaches, the smart ones, they look in the mirror. They say, what are we lacking in? Okay, this is week one of the season. We just got to make it work. And not too many coaches would have gotten as far as Alabama did last year, meeting these other coaches in the sport. But I like the fact that they did self-address things. And yes, I am leading the Kendrick Bingley Jones apology tour, because all these Bama fans crapped on him. And we said this. We're not looking for him to be a star. We're looking for someone to be hungry and tough and physical and act like they care. I can roll with that every day of the week, because there's plenty of guys out there who have high star ratings and they couldn't wait to. They didn't want to be there. You get what I'm saying? And I think they got some guys with some pride. And I say this all year long, all off season. Folks talked about them losing to Indiana more than Indiana beating Oregon. I know Dan Lanning loves that. And when Indiana won a national title, it's like we forgot Indiana beat Miami for the national title. But the staff, the players, you can only be told that you ain't about nothing for so long. And I think that is what's going to help this team. I'm not saying they're a national title team. I say they can make the playoff and see what happens. But 9-3, I think that's the worst. But 10-2, it can happen. Just need those young guys to grow. And I'll say this, Chris, I've got to say this. The offensive line, if you want to look for improvement, look at Georgia last year. It was incremental growth throughout the season. It's not going to be fixed overnight like snapping their fingers. It's incremental growth as these guys get continuity and playing together, because all these guys are lined up to come back next year to have eligibility. Just build a continuity each week, and I think they'll be fine. But, yeah, you have a good weekend, Christian. Keep up the great work.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Smitty. You as well, my brother. All right, we got to hit a timeout when we come back. We got some more calls to get to. We got Duval. We got Jarvis. We'll keep on rolling on those phone lines. Talking scrimmage number 2 right here on this free-for-all Friday edition of the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Give us a couple minutes to run.
Trusted by clients like Royal Cup Coffee and Tea, proud supporters of Crimson Tide, the Boss Company, one partner for everything your business needs.
Do you have cracks or potholes that are dragging down your property's appeal? Hey, I'm Christian Miller, and at Asphalt Restoration, We transform driveways and parking lots with expert repairs, new paving, or resurfacing. Fast, durable, and family-owned quality that you can trust. Don't let small issues turn into big expenses. Call 205-393-91.
Crimson Tide, sold in stadium and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, we are here treating patients from every generation
across the United States
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers,
trying to make a name for themselves. We are here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping the next.
We want to hear from you. Apply online at coviacorp.com or call us today at 205-758-8353. That's 205-758-8353.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless advocacy. For guidance you can trust, call 201-317-5115 or visit lamparello-law.com. That's Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Proud partner.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Here's your Tuscaloosa and West Alabama forecast. A heat advisory remains in effect until 9 p.m. tonight. The high today near 96. That heat index, though, around 106 when you factor in humidity. And as temperatures heat up, there may be an occasional shower thunderstorm developing from this afternoon into the early portion of the evening, then clear overnight with a low falling to 73. And the dry weather for the weekend, a sunny and hot Saturday with a high of 97 and plenty of sunshine on Sunday with a high close to 96. This is meteorologist Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel for Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
It's 90 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Your front row seat to all things Alabama. Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide sports.
For All Friday. This is the Miller's Edge. I had to catch the beat drop, Chase. I think that might have been a new one, man. I feel like I was freestyling for a second. I was off beat. Sound like Blueface. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. 205-342-9904. We got Duval up next. Duval, welcome in.
What's going on, Chris?
There he is. What's up, my guy?
Man, at work, bro, trying to get this little bread in this Atlanta traffic. You already know.
That's right. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, man. 2 weeks to the season start. I want to hit on a couple points, man. See, you know what I'm saying? Bounce some ideas off of you. Get your thoughts about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You saying that the offensive line is struggling. So what is the defense throwing at them, you know, as far as schematics that's giving them problems? Is Terrence Green just whooping everybody's ass on one-on-ones, or what's going on with that?
Well, I will say this. So last week I caught the scrimmage. Yesterday, again, I couldn't. Timing just, I didn't realize it started so early, and I had several things lined up in the morning. But from last week's scrimmage, it was a little bit of the guys just kind of outmanning them up front, like seeing Terrence Green, London Simmons, those guys, like they're just out physicaling them, right? It was just kind of one of those deals. Yeah. And I also saw some execution issues, right? So I would say it's a little bit of both. And I think, it's one of those things where you have a bunch of young guys, new players. I mean, the center comes from Cal Poly. You know, there's going to be an adjustment period there. Mal Waldrop is a sophomore. He's young, right? He's a big guy. I mean, he's got a lot of potential, but he's still learning things, right? He's new to this.
Jackson Lloyd,
new. You know what I mean? So, like, just imagine. I mean, like, these guys have a lot of potential. I believe. I think they can be a good unit. They're just so young and they're learning. Like, I mean, I'm just putting myself in their shoes. Like, if you asked sophomore Christian Miller to go line up against, you know, much more experienced people on the other side of the football versus my redshirt junior year, that's a whole different story. So I think it's somewhat expected, but it also is kind of concerning, just given this, like, man, like, we've got other pieces that are coming together. We really just need this offensive line to come together. And that was my one critique from the portal period, where I was just like, man, I feel like we probably could have done a little bit more with the offensive line, given how important that position is and how bad it's been over the last several years. But hopefully it can come together, you know, over the next few weeks, maybe even the first few weeks of the season.
Well, I think they're going to hang their hat on development. And I believe, you know, Clem is a developer. I feel like everybody has said anytime that he's on the field, it's a coaching point to some drill or something. He's always constantly coaching. Yeah. So I'm encouraged by that. I think Josh Ford, that's a big addition to the running game. I believe Danny Lewis being healthy is a big addition to the running game. And another question, I heard about something about 13 personnel and us running the ball out 13 personnel and also being able to throw. But I wouldn't know if the tight ends would be Danny Lewis, Josh Ford, and what's the other cat? He caught a touchdown in the first scrimmage.
Marshall
Pritchett. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If we throw them three out there and 13 personnel, which I have never seen that package from Alabama in my life, but that could be a possibility. That could be a wrinkle, you know what I'm saying, that we could add this year.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they've definitely, you know, experimented with, you know, some bigger packages like that, right? 12, 13 personnel. I mean, we saw some in A-Day, right? Even having Josh Ford there in I formation, he was back there basically playing as a fullback. I mean, I think they'll have some wrinkles in that offense. I don't know how much you see of it, if I'm just being honest with you. I mean, you'll probably see some of it, especially given the fact that the tight end room has been stepping up, right? I mean, you mentioned Josh Ford. He's been a handful, right? Especially in that running game. He's a physical guy. I mean, you guys see the clips that keep coming out. The dude is like, I mean, he's yoked, right? Then Danny Lewis being healthy. He's always been a very intriguing player, man. I'm excited to have him back. Caleb Edwards, he's a big body guy. He's pretty much the same stature as Josh Ford, built a little bit different, but height and weight, they're damn near identical. But he's not the same type of player, but he's not a small guy.
He's more receiving tight end.
He's a receiving tight end, but my point is he still is built like the other guys. So he's not small. He just has to get a little bit stronger and a little bit more physical. And then Marshall Pritchett, I think he's gotten better in the run game, but really he's also receiving tight end. So I think between all four of those guys, you'll probably see a lot of rotating there, and I think they'll definitely have a big role. But I feel like this is probably limited. You'll see, like, I don't see this offense running just a bunch of 13 personnel trying. I don't see that a whole bunch, but it probably will be something that they have in their back pocket. And hopefully, when they do go to it, they can run the football downhill and be physical. Maybe set up a little play action off of it. Right, get those tight ends involved, knowing that they do have that pass catching ability. So I do think that is a little wrinkle that they might add, but just don't know how much.
What did I tell you about that young boy TB, man? You can't keep him off the field, dog. He keeps turning heads, bro. He keeps turning heads. Every time I log in, bro, I get on Alabama because I bought the subscription. So every time, like, his name is being mentioned, dog, I'm like, man, EJ, I want him to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? I want him to, like, be patient and take his time because I feel like if he doesn't get out when he feel like he needs to get out on the field, you know what I'm saying, he might not check out, but he may not be as prepared. That's the same thing with Austin Mack. Like, with him, if he's not named the starter, but I feel like Keelan is going to be the starter. If he's not named the starter, I don't want him to check out mentally. I always want him to, like, you know what I'm saying, be sharp because, like you said, or like everybody's been saying, you one play away from starting. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts in the SEC championship, 2 over there on crutches. Bro, come on in with the high top fade and handle your business, my boy. Handle your business. And that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. So everybody has to be ready. And I want to ask one more question. I'm going to let you go because I know you got another caller. What is the defensive line rotation going to be like? Because we got some freaks, man. We got like 8, 9 guys, bro. What we going to do?
Yeah, well, number one, I think you're right. They're going to rotate a lot. I think they're going to have several different packages because the personnel allows that. I mean, because you got big body guys that also are athletic. So if you want a front that you feel a little bit more firm with, right, to play the run, you can do that. If you want to you're playing a dual threat quarterback, you want some more athleticism out there, you have the personnel to do that. But in terms of like what it might look like, I would say you'll see probably Devin Tompkins, Terrence Green, Bingley Jones, and London Simmons, like those 4 guys. Excuse me, I think you'll see them probably the most.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It depends on what they're in, right? So, like, if they're running that 3-4 package that they have, where they have Yonze, which I really like, because you got Yonze and you got Justin Hill on the edges. Then you'll have Devin Tompkins, and we've been like a 5 or a 4-eye at nose. You can have either Terrence Green or Bingley Jones reps at nose. Yeah. Then you also have London Simmons. So 3 of those 4 guys you'll see in there with the 2 outside backers on the edges. I really like that. They showed a lot of that in scrimmage 1, and it was impressive, right? I thought they looked a lot more firm against the run when they were in that defense. But then also, I think you'll see a lot of guys rotating in, like, you can't sleep on
Xavier. Yeah, Xavier gonna make some noise, bro.
Xavier, you talking about Griffin?
Yeah, he gonna make some noise, bro. He gonna make some noise.
You talking defensive line? I throw him in linebacker category, but no, he's gonna make some noise for sure. He's gonna get himself some.
I'm saying the front. I'm saying the front 7 as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody gonna get some burn. I feel like we got some crucial pieces. We just need to use them in certain situations because I feel like Griffin, he's gonna be like a 3rd down. Let's go get him. You know what I'm saying? Track the quarterback down type of player right now this year. You know what I'm saying? So he really
if it was me,
slides into the off-ball linebacker role.
Well, yeah, and they're asking him to learn a lot, right? Because he's definitely still learning off-ball backer, right? I mean, they want him to be able to contribute there at some point. But I do see him contributing mostly as that pass rusher in that role. And if it was me, the way I would use him is I would have my 3rd down packages where, what I used to be called the buck in that situation where I'm mugged up over the B gap. We can drop you. We can send you. We can run games with you. You can serve as the spy, right? Like he would be my designated spy, but then I also would let him just get on the edge, get in that wide 9 technique and just get after it, man. Use that speed and athleticism. Yeah, you know what I mean? And what you could do is, like, I would love to see this, have like that NASCAR package like we call it with the Panthers or Raptors, whatever you want to call it, same thing. And I would have Yonze in there. I'd have Xavier Griffin. I'd probably have I'd probably do Justin Hill on the other side, and then I'd have Devin Tompkins. And I'd have one of those guys be the mugger where he can line up, run games with the other guys, and I will let them get active. And that would be like we're going and getting in 3rd and long package. We got all speed and athleticism on the field. Let's go make something happen. So hopefully they sprinkle some of that in there or something along the lines of it.
And all my Bama fans, the phrase for the secondary this year is no fly zone. No fly zone for the secondary. I'm calling it out right now. I want to say top three secondary in the SEC period this year. You know what I'm saying? Roll Tide to y'all, Chris, and keep doing your job, bro. You're doing a great job. I appreciate the show. Your pops, he crazy, but he holding. I feel him. I'm with you. You feel it? Have a good weekend, dog.
That's gold. I appreciate it, Duval. Man, that's gold, man. He's crazy, but he's holy, man. Yeah, he definitely here's some of his takes, man. I'm like, brother, you gotta do your homework, man. We gotta hit a timeout. We come back. We keep on rolling on this Free for All Friday. This is the Miller's Edge. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC.
And jet skis. Redline Power Sports, open Monday through Saturday on Highway 43 North at Tierce Patton Road in Northport. Call 737-7425.
From our home base in Birmingham, Alabama, We are here treating patients from every generation,
across the United States,
and from around the world. We're here for the rookies and the dreamers, trying to make a name for themselves.
We are here for the achievers,
who are resilient
and won't take no for an answer. We're here for the coaches,
athletic trainers, and mentors
who are shaping
country purchase. Plus, check out the new Big Game Headquarters menu featuring the affordable All-Stars. The Hillcrest Huddle at Bomb Hours, Tuesdays on Tide 100.9 FM.
Hey, it's Christian Miller, and I wanted to tell you about our friends over at Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy. Founded by attorney and Professor Adam Lamparello, helping students at every level with mentoring, exam prep, applications, and career planning. Adam also represents students, faculty, and athletes in academic misconduct, First Amendment, NIL, and criminal defense cases. Known for real care and relentless advocacy. For guidance you can trust, call 201-317-5115 or visit lamparello-law.com. That's Lamparello Law, Education and Advocacy.
What does it mean to advertise and do your marketing with Town Square Media Tuscaloosa? Melissa started her business in 2014. What would you say to someone considering Town Square Media Tuscaloosa?
My experience with Town Square Media has been awesome, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I think that this is the first time in my marketing experience that I've been able to see my return on investment. I would definitely say in the past that has not been the case. In this, I like knowing that that's 100%. A lot of the marketing we've done has been radio. You guys have so much more to offer than that, whether it's, websites, from targeted marketing to radio. You are kind of a one-stop shop, and it makes doing marketing so much easier. So I would definitely recommend it.
For more info,
that's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
From kickoff to the final whistle, we've got you covered. Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
Tide 100.9, 1230. WTBC, we've been talking a whole boatload about scrimmage number 2, which took place. And now, Chase, I guess it's kind of time to turn the page a little bit, not just for us, but also really this football team, because now, as we would call it, the hay is in the barn. Not saying there's, no longer competitions going on, but I feel like people have kind of, established the most part of their resumes now, and now it's time for the coaches to start kind of really fine-tuning that a little bit and getting things ready as this East Carolina first home game quickly approaches us. Chase, but let me ask you a question, because there's so much talk about the quarterback battle and how it appears to be over, according to many, which we've even addressed it ourselves, right? We've reached out, and then people have pretty much said, yes, that is probably going to be announced very soon. Keelan Russell as QB1. My question to you, Chase, is even if that is the case, how likely is it that you think we see both quarterbacks in week 1 still? Because I'll be honest with you. East Carolina is no slouch. I do not expect it to be a blowout game. I did just see somewhere where the odds for the game, Alabama is oh, here it is. 90, according to Pauly Market, Alabama has a 97% chance to win the football game. I don't think anybody's doubting that. But East Carolina is a good squad, especially for their conference and whatnot. They're a good football team, Chase. So what I'm saying is I don't think it's going to be a blowout game where it's hey, man, we're opening up the season with a cupcake where we just expect us to play everybody in this first game. But I still think there's a chance maybe that they give Austin Mack a couple series there. But you also want to say, hey, well, Keelan Russell, every snap and every rep is valuable experience that he needs to get. With those factors involved, where do you see this going in week 1? Even if Keelan's named the starter, do you still think we see a little bit of Austin Mack? Or somebody in the chat made a good point. The last 2 years, we haven't really played a whole bunch of backups over the last 2 seasons. we've rotated a lot. Let me be clear. We've rotated a lot, right? Like even defensively, the secondary, something a little bit different. But Chase, we haven't seen it where it's like, oh, we're blowing people out, so all the backups getting. We haven't seen a whole bunch of those moments. How do you see week 1 going?
I don't see that happening either. I just feel like whoever the starter is, if it is Keelan, then it stays that way. I think you want Keelan in there to learn just how to manage a game and also conduct a game. You know, he is somebody you're trying to hand the keys to the kingdom, and you can't just be like, well, we'll put Mac in. No, you put Russell in there from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. This isn't, preseason. This is go. This is game 1. You want the first W, and you want Russell to get that experience. So when the next game comes, he's prepared. He knows what he has to do. He understands that every snap, every play call, every adjustment, it's on you. And he's a competitor. You don't want him out the game. I think it'll ruin his confidence. He already fought hard to win the starting position. Why take him out? Unless it's an injury or, God forbid, it's something else. But you want him to have as much confidence and as much bravado and be like, I'm that guy when he steps on the field. And it's good that we have Mac as somebody that can step in if he's having a slump or something. But this is the new QB for Alabama. Let's just be honest. This is someone that will lead for the next few seasons, and you want him to have as much security with UA because you know how it is. Players want to feel safe. If they don't feel safe, they don't feel like they're valued, they're out of there. And you want Keelan to be there to develop his game. And, we don't really have so much footage of him. So we want him to get out there and get a little green marks on his jersey. Get him ready for SEC play because what does that tell? What does it tell everybody that you just put Mac in against East Carolina? You want Russell to take that and run with it all the way in our hopes to the SEC championship and more beyond that.
You made a good point. You said preparing for SEC play. And the fact is, the following week, Chase, you have to go on the road and play Kentucky, which we just talked about for the offensive line. That's going to be something to pay attention to. Best believe also for the quarterback, you're going to be in a loud environment, right? We don't play Kentucky very often. And even though Alabama might not be sitting at the mountaintop like we once were, best believe when Alabama comes to town, especially for a team like Kentucky, if they could find a way to sneak a win out there, especially with this new staff, best believe that's going to have them riding high, right? So you already know it's going to be one of those games. Their fans are going to be fired up for it. So you really do. You want him to go into that game with as much confidence as possible, with as much experience as possible. So that being said, I'll be honest, man. I know some people, even ECU's coach, I want to say, matter of fact, I think I bookmarked the quote, but I want to say he had mentioned that he anticipates seeing both guys, right? I just don't know how much of the other guy we see. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but we probably need to just be where our feet are because, hell, it hadn't even officially been, I guess, announced, but would expect that to come pretty soon. And like you said, man, let him get his feet wet, get some green marks on that jersey. I know Adam would really like that. Speaking of getting these guys toughened up, man, you got to take a few licks, man, to kind of get going and see what he can do with it, which all signs point to Keelan Russell being a gamer, by the way. Not saying he doesn't do it in practice, but it seems like he shines the brightest when the lights are on. And to be honest with you, man, I'm excited to see him get in that moment, right? I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. There's going to be some little moments here or there, but I don't know. He just kind of has a little swagger about him too, man. I don't know. I'm just kind of envisioning that opening game chase at home, man. Keelan Russell out there doing his thing. I think it's going to be exciting. Definitely think we got a long road ahead of us, but I think there's going to be a lot of. Do you know what
reminds me of a little bit? Like when Shador first hit the scene, I like Colorado, just like kind of, not like it's the same level, but that anticipation of what you're going to get. You know that he's a baller. What he did in high school and the accolades and just the swagger. And he's not going to pull up with a watch, but, it's just that confidence that a lot of quarterbacks lack in college football to get it to that next level, and that swagger. Like, look, my name is Russell on the back, but I got the UA on the front, and I know what I represent, and I know what I can do for the football team. And I feel like that is such a big thing because you look at Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, like previous quarterbacks, A.J. McCarron. They had that swagger that I'm going to lead my football team to victory, and I feel like Keelan does a very good job of that.
Absolutely, man. We're all excited to see Keelan Russell get that shot because sounds like that will be announced very, very soon. Hey, and speaking of jerseys, by the way, did you see that the new series, not new series, but the series with Tennessee, right? They're going back to both teams wearing home jerseys. That's a long time tradition. That's going to look kind of cool, right? Both teams in their home jerseys. I mean, again, I don't even know if I was live when they last were doing that whole deal, but it looked cool. I saw the clip that they posted with it. So I don't know, looking forward to that. And speaking of that rivalry, you guys already know the drill. If you guys need, to get yourselves ready for the third Saturday in October, make sure you guys get your cigars. Go to rnrcigars.com. Of course, use that code Miller's Edge. We'll get you 20% off your orders. Make sure you have that stick ready, man. We haven't lit one up in a minute, man, when it comes to beating Tennessee at Tennessee, right? Because remember, we go on the road this time around. I don't think we've beaten them on the road. And what was it, I think, Chase? Almost 5 years or something crazy like that. So get those cigars now. That way you have them ready. rnrcigars.com, code Miller's Edge. And, of course, if you're looking for a place to go watch games, it's football season. Look no further. R&R Cigars, 2703 Gary Fitz Street, right here in Tuscaloosa. Wraparound porch, the best humidor in the Southeast, over 160 bourbons for you to try. Drink responsibly. You guys know the drill. The official cigar provider of Alabama football since 2014, my first year on campus. All right, we got to hit the timeout. We come back. We got, I believe, Miguel on the phone lines right here on the Miller's Edge.
Leaf you qualify for. Don't wait. Make the call. Dial 800-647-1285. Once again, that's 800-647-1285.
From yesterday's legends to tomorrow's stars. Tide 100.9 and 12:30 a.m. WTBC.
No one better.
The home of Alabama Crimson Tide sports.
Edition of the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTB. So let's go straight to the phone lines. We only got a few minutes left. We got Miguel up next. Miguel, welcome in.
I'm doing well. Good afternoon,
up, man. Good afternoon, brother.
I just want to know. I was impressed with Keelan when he had the 707 a couple of years ago. When they was recruiting him, the 707.
Yeah.
So that's what made me think that he, that's in his something for him with his skill set.
Yeah, he's special.
That's one thing I can remember with his skill set.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he just got something different to him, man. The way he can spin, he can spin it, his vision, his ability to improvise, and then also now that you talk about the athleticism that he brings, I mean, he just has so many tools and traits to work with, man. It's impressive.
And if they can build an offense around him, as well as Mac and everybody, the quarterback positions, they should do good. If they can get the offense around his skill set, they can produce.
I think it really, Miguel, is really just the offensive line, man. I think the offensive line is the receiver room has stepped up. I mean, Cedarian Morgan has been very impressive during camp. Derek Meadows has really taken some nice strides. Rico Scott's been doing some good stuff. I mean, the receiver room, I'm good with. I even think the running back room, I mean, again, they have to go out there and prove it, but they look better at this point than they did last year.
Yes.
Not to mention some of the young guys like EJ Crowell that we haven't even seen a bunch of. So I really think everything is riding on that offensive line. I think that is the key.
And they just need to protect the quarterbacks. Once they're in there, the front line needs to protect the quarterbacks. And the linebacker, and the running backs need to pick up the blitz and everything. They just need to protect the quarterback. That's bottom line.
Let them work, man. You got good players, good skill players, especially. You got a trigger man that's explosive. Let them do their job. That's all we need. Give them some time, open some lanes, and let them do the rest.
And I'm going to add this. They need to hydrate, drink cleaner water.
You trust me. Hey, listen, we all need to be hydrated right now. Even myself, I couldn't even get the words out earlier because I'm probably not hydrated right now. It's so hot outside. You're right about that one.
Yes, sir.
Where you from, Miguel?
I'm from Tuscaloosa.
Oh, nice. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
You're right, man. Then you definitely know. We definitely need to hydrate around here. You already know.
Being a veteran and been in the desert for several years, I know how to hydrate.
Oh, man. Well, number one, thank you for your service, man. I mean,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First
thank
and
you.
foremost, but yes, sir. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
Anything else?
But they need
here. Wrap things up.
No. Just that they just need to protect the quarterback. The front line main purpose is to make them holes for the quarterbacks and protect the quarterback. That's it.
I'm with you on that one. We can agree on that. That's perfect way to wrap up this Free for All Friday. Miguel, I appreciate you calling, man. Great conversation. I hope to hear from you soon.
Oh, you will. Thank you. Bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Good stuff, man. Great call to wrap things up. And real quick, before we officially wrap up, let me remind you about Lamprella Law Education and Advocacy. We heard from Adam yesterday. World-class attorney. If you guys need any representation, you find yourself in a situation, you need somebody to represent you not only in a first-class manner, but they'll do it in a very aggressive way and for cheap. And I'm pretty sure Adam said you get 100% discount if you're an Alabama fan, which, I mean, hey, take them up on it. Lamprello-law.com is the website. Schedule yourself a free consultation. Of course, they offer a number of other services. If you or you have high school, college, or graduate students needing some career academic planning, subject matter mastery, exam and test taking preparation, look no further. Lamprello Law Education Advocacy, the website lamprello-law.com for all that information. And check out their YouTube channel for free legal advice. Go give them a subscription over there, completely free at Lamprello Law. That'll do it for us on this Free for All Friday. Big thanks to Chase behind the glass. Big thanks to all of our listeners via Tide 100.9, the global app, FM, AM, any of our streaming platforms. We appreciate you guys. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. We've got Alabama football and SEC football coverage coming all season long. You guys have a great rest of y'all's day, a great weekend. We look forward to talking some more football Monday right here on the Miller's Edge, Tide 100.9, 1230, WTBC.